Story RH, the podcast that makes a long story short.
Welcome to all.
History is made of stories.
In this episode, we'll be talking about governance options for organizing projects and monitoring their progress.
There's nothing worse than a meeting where you talk and talk but never make any decisions on how to move forward.
We've all come out of a meeting without any idea of what's expected of us, which means that meeting was completely useless. But that doesn't mean we can do away with check-in meetings, does it? So, project committees and oversight committees, organizing project management, what's the story?
Project and oversight committees are both project monitoring bodies. Their goal is to make sure things are going to plan and to anticipate possible problems. So, to monitor, anticipate, arbitrate, and approve on several different levels.
Project committees are exactly what they sound like. They bring together the project contributors and the project managers, who collectively monitor ongoing tasks.
Marcel, how is hiring coming? Great new. When will they be here? Perfect. At the last project committee meeting, we decided that the new hires would receive training in the first month after arrival. Miriam, is her team ready to train them?
And so on for each task. You check in on progress with respect to set deadlines, risks, delays, etc. And you highlight overlap with other project contributors so everyone can plan ahead for their own role.
This is where the person in charge of a particular task can tell the project manager that they're stuck. Then the project manager can either make a decision or decide to bring the issue to the oversight committee.
And the oversight committee oversees the project. This body doesn't include most of the contributors. The project manager is generally present to provide an operational take, and the project director is there to help make decisions. There may also be other directors who are impacted by the project. The goal is to complete the project as quickly as possible.
Once alerted to problems, they decide, prioritize, and fix issues.
The oversight committee doesn't examine every single task. They focus only on issues that specifically require input from the members of the committee.
They're usually problems: we won't make the deadline, we're over budget, etc., or requests for an ultimate decision.
But you have to be careful not to show up to a steering committee with a list of problems that need fixing. You need to provide key information so they can make a decision.
And sometimes, a topic brought in either the project or oversight committee is too vast to be handled during the meeting. If that's the case, you work together to organize a subject-specific workshop which will only be attended by people directly involved.
When it comes down to it, the important thing to remember is that the project and steering committees are governance bodies. Their role is not to handle issues in depth, it's simply to ensure things are heading in the right direction.
To ensure committee meetings don't devolve into free-for-all discussions, you have to lay down a few ground rules.
First, you need a chairperson, someone who invites people to speak, monitors tasks, and asks questions to make sure everyone is on the same page. The chairperson ensures that each task has a reasonable deadline and one person who is ultimately responsible for completing it.
Next, before the meeting, I reread the minutes from the previous meeting, make sure I'm making due progress on my tasks, and that I can provide the information required for the committee to understand where things stand for me.
There are also 3 keys to success: an agenda, task monitoring, and minutes.
The meeting agenda should be sent to all committee members. It should include enough detail to allow each person to know whether or not their presence is required.
The centralized task monitoring tool should be updated at each project meeting and summarized for the oversight committee. Doing so ensures nothing falls through the cracks.
The meeting minutes detail the decisions made at the meeting and underscores the urgent tasks to be completed before the next meeting.
With these tools, you greatly enhance your chances of success. And really, this advice applies not only to project management, but also to managing your team and following your roadmap.
To recap, committees are a crucial tool for managing and monitoring any project. The project committee handles operational details while the oversight committee makes decisions and sets priority. To make the most of them, though, you have to be meticulous. Is that right?
Exactly right. Way to make a long story short.
Story RH, the podcast that makes a long story short.